An Amish mother spends 20 years teaching her oldest daughter everything she knows: how to cook, how to sew, how to run a household, how to raise children. And then one Tuesday in November, that daughter walks out the door forever. Here is what that day actually feels like. Oldest daughter actually is. In an Amish household, the oldest daughter is not just a child. She is her mother's primary assistant from the time she is old enough to stand at a kitchen counter. By age 6, she is drying dishes. By age 10, she is cooking meals. By age 14, she is managing younger siblings and preserving food alongside her mother as an equal contributor. She is the one who steps in when the mother is unwell. She is the one who keeps younger children on schedule when the mother is occupied with an infant. She is the one who knows where everything is and what needs to be done before anyone else is thought to ask. 20 years of side by side. From the time the oldest daughter is old enough to help until the day she marries, she and her mother work side by side every single day. They stand at the same stove. They sit at the same sewing table. They can eat vegetables together in the August heat. They bake for church hosting days together. Over 20 years, this daily proximity creates a bond built not just from love, but from shared labor. Thousands of hours working toward the same goal in the same space. Somewhere around age 16, the dynamic shifts. The daughter is no longer just learning. She is contributing. The kitchen becomes a shared domain between two capable women who know each other's rhythms without needing to speak. When he started coming around, the mother sees it before her daughter admits it. A boy from a neighboring district starts appearing at singings her daughter attends. Her daughter comes home with a different energy, quieter than usual, smiling at private thoughts. The mother recognizes all of it. She went through the same thing herself 20 years ago. When the boy begins arriving at the house on Saturday evenings, the mother understands the timeline has started. She begins doing something she has never done before. She starts paying attention to the ordinary moments: the morning bread making, the evening mending, the Tuesday laundry. She notices these things in a way she never did when she assumed they would always continue, because now she knows they will not. The announcement at church. In Amish culture, the upcoming marriage is announced at the Sunday church service 2 weeks before the wedding. The couple does not attend that service. When the mother returns home, she already knows what was announced. But the formal announcement makes it real in a way that whispered speculation does not. After church, women gather and offer congratulations. They squeeze the mother's hand. They say what wonderful news it is. The mother smiles back. She means it. She is genuinely happy for her daughter. But underneath the happiness is something she cannot name to anyone at that fellowship table. A grief not appropriate to express in a public setting. Because this is a celebration. And Amish mothers do not burden a celebration with their private sadness. The final weeks together. The 2 weeks between the church announcement and the wedding are the busiest and most bittersweet of the mother's year. The wedding will be held in her home. She and her daughter work together every day preparing. They bake hundreds of cookies. They prepare large quantities of food for the wedding feast. They clean every corner of the house. They arrange furniture to accommodate hundreds of guests. They work from before sunrise until after dark every day. The physical exhaustion of wedding preparation leaves little room for the emotions underneath, but the mother feels them anyway. She notices that her daughter has begun looking toward the future in a way that is entirely right and entirely appropriate and entirely painful to witness. Her daughter talks about her new home, about what curtains she will make, about how she will arrange her kitchen. The mother helps her plan these things. She offers advice. She gives her daughter items from her own household to start her new one. Pots, linens, seeds from the garden. Each item given away is a thread connecting the daughter to her mother's home that is being voluntarily cut. The mother cuts them herself, because that is what a good Amish mother does. She prepares her daughter completely for the life she is about to begin, even when that preparation is the thing that takes her daughter away. The morning of the wedding. The wedding day begins at 4 in the morning. The cows still need milking. The breakfast for the crew of family members who arrived the day before still needs cooking. The house still needs final preparation. The mother is up before everyone. She lights the stove in the dark kitchen. She works by lantern light the way she has worked every morning of her adult life. But this morning is different. Her daughter comes downstairs earlier than expected. She finds her mother already at the stove. They work together in the dark kitchen without speaking for a long time. The silence is comfortable, the way silence between people who know each other completely is always comfortable. At some point, the daughter says something ordinary about the weather, about whether there is enough coffee. The mother answers, and they continue working. Neither of them says what the morning actually is. Neither of them needs to. They have been working together in this kitchen for 15 years. They both know it is the last time they will do it as members of the same household. The guests begin arriving. The morning accelerates. The quiet kitchen moment is gone before either of them thought to hold on to it. Watching her daughter take her vows. The Amish wedding service lasts 3 hours. The mother sits in the congregation while her daughter sits at the front of the room with her future husband. The ministers preach. The congregation sings from the Bund. The vows are exchanged in simple, direct language. The bishop asks if each partner is willing to enter this marriage in faithfulness and to remain together until death. They each say yes. The mother watches her daughter say yes. She watches the daughter she has known since before that daughter had a name become a wife. The emotion of this moment is held privately, the way Amish women hold most of their emotions. She does not cry visibly. She sits with her hands folded in her lap and her face composed. But the women sitting near her know what she is feeling. They have felt it themselves. They do not look at her directly. They give her the privacy to experience this moment in the way she needs to without an audience. The vows take only a few minutes. The bishop concludes. The congregation begins singing again, and the mother's daughter is no longer her daughter only. She belongs to another household now. She belongs to another family's story. The mother's part in shaping her is complete. Coming home to silence. The wedding feast lasts the entire afternoon. Hundreds of people eat in shifts. The mother serves alongside the women of the community. She accepts congratulations. She smiles. She watches her daughter move through the gathering as a new wife. By early evening, the guests begin to leave. The young couple leaves with them. They go to the husband's family home or to the small house that has been prepared for them nearby. And then the guests are gone. The dishes are done. The borrowed benches have been stacked. The food has been put away. The house that was filled with 300 people 8 hours ago is now quiet. The mother walks through it. She straightens a chair. She wipes a surface that does not need wiping. She moves through the rooms of her own home and notices the silence in a way she never noticed it before. It is not the comfortable silence of a late evening when the children have gone to bed and the day is done. It is a different kind of silence, the kind that comes from an absence rather than from rest. Her daughter is not upstairs. She is not coming down in the morning. The kitchen will be the mother's alone tomorrow. The thought arrives without warning and settles somewhere in the chest that does not respond to reasoning or reassurance. The empty chair at the table. The morning after the wedding, the mother rises at her usual time. She lights the stove. She begins breakfast. The younger children come downstairs one by one and take their places at the table. The table looks the same. The chairs are the same. But there is a chair that the mother's eye goes to before she can stop it. The chair her oldest daughter sat in for 20 years. It is not empty in the sense that no one is sitting in it. A younger sibling may have moved into it, but the mother feels the vacancy regardless of who sits there. The particular presence of her oldest daughter, the competence and the familiarity and the shared understanding that 20 years of daily work together produces, is absent from that table. No one else at the table notices in the same way. The younger children adapt quickly. Children always do. But the mother carries an awareness of the absence through that first breakfast and through the day that follows. She catches herself turning to say something to her daughter about the bread rising, or the weather, or the baby's cough. And then she remembers. The turning and the remembering happen several times a day in the first week. It is the ordinary muscle memory of a 20-year partnership that has not yet learned it is over. How a mother finds her way back. The grief of an Amish mother whose oldest daughter has married is real, but it is not celebrated or dwelt upon. The Amish culture does not provide space for extended mourning over something that is right and good and exactly what was always supposed to happen. So the mother finds her way back not through processing or grieving openly, but through the same mechanism that built the bond in the first place: work. The kitchen still needs to run. The younger children still need feeding, teaching, and managing. The garden still needs tending. The household does not pause for a mother's grief. She gets up the next morning, and the morning after that, she distributes the oldest daughter's household responsibilities among the younger children. She teaches the second daughter the things she has not yet fully learned. She begins again what she began 20 years ago with her oldest. And slowly the kitchen finds its new rhythm. Not the same rhythm, a different one. The second daughter is not her oldest. She has her own pace and her own strengths and her own way of doing things. The mother adjusts. She always adjusts. Because adjusting is what Amish mothers do. Not because they feel nothing, but because the household and the family and the community continue regardless of what a mother feels. And continuing is what she was built for. The oldest daughter visits on Sundays. They sit at the table together and drink coffee and talk. The mother watches her daughter's face and sees the woman she helped make. And that is enough. Not easy, but enough. The hardest day in an Amish mother's life is not dramatic. There is no screaming or sobbing. There is no public expression of grief. There is a 4 a.m. kitchen lit by lantern light where a mother and daughter work together in silence for the last time as members of the same household. There is a 3-hour wedding service where the mother sits with folded hands and a composed face while her daughter says vows that will take her permanently into another family's life. There is a house that empties of 300 guests over the course of an afternoon and then falls into a silence the mother has never heard before. There is a breakfast table the next morning where a chair feels wrong in a way no one else at the table understands. And then there is the long, slow work of adjusting, of redistributing the oldest daughter's responsibilities, of teaching the next daughter everything the oldest daughter already knows, of continuing. The Amish culture does not give a mother permission to grieve this loss publicly because it is not a loss in the way that death is a loss. The daughter is alive. She is nearby. She will visit on Sundays. She will appear at community gatherings. She will be present at church every other week, but she will not be in the kitchen at 4 in the morning. She will not be the one who knows where everything is and what needs to be done before anyone asks. That particular person, the one built over 20 years of daily work and proximity and shared labor, walked out the door on a Tuesday in November. And the mother who built her stands in a quiet kitchen and begins again. Because that is what Amish mothers have always done and always will.